Today, guys, let's talk about detachment, because it is time for us to enter I don't give a era. Because trust me, girls, once you let go of this idea of what everyone else thinks, everything will come to you, I promise. Because girls, let me tell you, there is no point in you guys putting out your affirmations into the world and then you guys still care about what other people think. I mean, it's literally going to act as a block. Affirmations block and universe. The universe cannot answer your affirmations because they're getting blocked. That's why in this video, I'm going to be talking about detachment. Now, personally for me, I was a huge people pleaser. I used to just run around running errands for people, doing things for people, always thinking about other people first and never putting myself forward. And let me tell you, girl, it was exhausting. I was letting almost anyone into my life and they were toxic people. I was so afraid of what other people would think of me because I would push them away. That's why I just let anyone in. And let me tell you, girl, these people have come into my life. My little heart and soul is here and they have stomped on my heart and soul. When these people ran out of my life afterwards, I will tell you for free, I felt awful because I had not entered the mindset yet of detachment. I had not realized my self-worth. I thought, did I do something wrong? Again, I was still thinking, it was me. It was all on me. But once I understood that I didn't need these people and I could stop being a people pleaser, my life got 10 times better. This video is actually split into 6 different sections and they're all listed here. Before we dive in, and if you're new, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for more motivational videos like this. Section 1, understanding detachment. So for us to actually master detachment, we have to understand what it is. Detachment is not disconnecting from life as a whole. It is taking out those toxic, negative relationships and binning them. And by letting go of these unhealthy attachments, we're able to find our inner balance. Now, when we talk about detachment, so many people think it's about us hitting our cold girl era, like we don't care about people. That there is an emotional numbness to us, and that is further from the truth. If anything, engaging with detachment means performing a healthy relationship with the world around us. Section 2 is reflecting on our personal experiences. So I'm going to take you guys through challenges I faced due to attachment. So without a doubt, and no arguing here, my toughest time of my life was in uni. I'm in my 3rd year of uni, and the first 2 years of my life in uni were awful. I personally was struggling so much mentally and physically, and I really had taken a toll on me. And that was all because I was so focused on attaining to everyone else's needs and expectations. And obviously this just induced my stress and anxiety. So obviously in university, I had to meet these milestones so everyone else could be happy with me. And obviously these milestones had taken such a toll on me that I started to become overwhelmed and I just lost my sense of purpose. I had also lost myself. As I share this with you, I want you guys to know that you are not alone. This is an experience shared by so many people around the world at so many educational levels, not just university, even in workplaces. Detaching from these expectations was not just my own triumph and victory. It was also allowing me to rediscover my life, rediscover my own path. And I'm sharing this all with you because each one of you that watched this video, each one of you that decided to click on this video, all have your own inner strength to define yourself. All is not lost. You have not lost yourself completely. You can still pick up the pieces and rediscover yourself and recreate a life for yourself. And you can fulfill your life in your own terms without other people coming in and having their two bit. So far in my life, I've had so many negative relationships. Now, obviously, for some of you guys, that may be a romantic relationship. For me, I've never had a romantic relationship, so I will never speak on that topic. But for friendships, I've been there and I've done that. When it comes to friendships, it is such a trivial matter. There have been 3 friendships where I cherished 3 people so close to me. And it was like my soul and heart had been ripped out by them, and by one in particular. I will not name names, because that is not who I am. But again, I'm speaking from my own personal experience. After this person had just come into my life, made me feel at the highest of the highs, and then just dropped out of nowhere, just left me, I was still clinging on. The girl had blocked me everywhere. I had no form of contact But me being me during first year of university, I was clinging to her. My whole life revolved around wanting her to respond back to me, wanting and waiting for the moment for her to say, sorry, Han, I didn't mean to do any of that. And afterwards, I saw the negative impact of me being so attached to this girl had on me. Like, it was actually so devastating to look on. So once I realized how attached I was, I started to understand. I went, why am I becoming so attached? I need to kind of sit back and think, who the hell am I for wanting to be in this person's life so much that hurt me? And at this point, it wasn't just an attachment out of love. It was an unhealthy obsession where I just wanted to get back. It was a really negative mindset. So I put that all in the past. I put it behind me. And I went on this beautiful journey of detachment. And this journey kind of became a process of self-empowerment. And in this journey, I really learned how to prioritize myself first before anyone else. I'm not saying to you guys to cut off every relationship you have with people. And like I said, I really want to be open with you guys. And that specific relationship took such a toll on my mental, physical, and emotional well-being. And I really hope that what I'm saying and my experience really resonates with some of you guys, because it's just such a excruciating thing, and I want people to know that they're not alone. And I also want you guys to feel so inspired to be able to prioritize yourselves first. And I want you guys to feel so inspired to kind of prioritize yourselves first. Now, if you've never really faced anything like that, there's also, you can look at it from like an academic or a working standpoint. All of us have had some sort of academic or, work setback or failure, whatever you decide to call it. And these setbacks can kind of start to trigger failure, like a fear of failure. Like, you start to become so paranoid and there's so much anxiety around it. And let me tell you, I had my fair share. Regarding relationships with people, I have mastered that, okay? I understand to put myself first before anyone else. I'm not, if I don't want to see you, I don't want to see you. If I'm not in the mood to see you, and, why am I going to put myself through that? But my struggle is with academics. Now, no matter how hard I try, I have always thrived on academic validation. So when I don't do well academically, it is the biggest heartbreak for me in the world, because I feel as a person I have failed, and it's so silly. I understand that's silly, and I know it is the most awful thing, but what am I without academics? What am I without a university degree? What am I if I didn't get all those A's, And it's such a toxic mindset. So my next goal is to really focus on academics, to stop putting myself through so much pain to just do well academically. I need to be able to separate both my self-worth and my achievements, and I need to learn how to do that. And yes, having success because of academics is such an important thing as well, but you need to be able to understand how you can separate both resilience and a healthy relationship. And I want to tell you guys this because I'm not saying that I'm perfect and I've completely mastered detachment. I've mastered detachment with people. But when it comes to academics, and something that I think is ingrained in a lot of brown households, and coming from a brown girl herself, academics is single-handedly the most important kind of validation you can get. And if you didn't do well academically, what's the point? Section 3 is the power of mindfulness. Now, what has mindfulness got to do with attachment, you may ask? Well, one of the most essential tools to mastering detachment is being mindful. So I understand life's crazy, and slowing down in life, that's a luxury. Like, you cannot slow down in life, and I understand. And I've been there and I've done it. And people kind of tend to associate mindfulness with just, yoga retreats and spas and, whatever kind of relaxation method works for you. But we can also apply it to the individual chaoses of our life. Getting the train to work in the morning and it's so busy. How can you be mindful during that, Because picture this, we've all been there. Our mind is racing with 1,000 thoughts, deadlines, work projects, assignments. And there are practices to deal with this. There are a couple of steps that I'm going to recommend, so feel free to pick and choose like a little pick and mix on what ones that you think would work best with you. The first recommendation I would give is mindful breathing. I know it is such a basic recommendation, but I'm telling you now, when you take a deep breath and really take a step back, it is so effective. And when you are taking deep breaths, try and clear your mind. And if you start to notice your mind is wandering, bring it back in. Start focusing on your breathing again. Start it over again. The next step I would recommend is mindful observation. When was the last time you actually sat down in your room and started to look around and really appreciate everything in your room? When have you noticed, oh, that's such a beautiful color on the poster. Oh, wow, look at all the colors on those books. When have you done that? Look at the layout there. When was the last time you did that? You have not been mindful of your surroundings. You have not appreciated the minimal beauty in things. So take a moment, step back, even pause this video and take a look around your room. Be like, wow, I never noticed that, you know? Next one is body scan meditation. A lot of people think you need to purchase, meditation apps, and you don't have to. Just sit there, take a moment. Really sit and enjoy the silence and start to kind of focus and hone in your energies on certain parts of your body. I would recommend starting from the bottom of your body and working your way up to your mind. And girl, let me know how you feel afterwards. And of course, if you guys do want to use an app, you're more than welcome to. I'm not saying don't use it, but obviously there are other alternatives than to using an app. Now, one that I actually do want to take a step into is journaling, mindful journaling, where you just take a few minutes in your day and just jot down how you're feeling. And I only journal when I am at my lowest of lows, which must have been like a year ago now. I have not done that in such a long time. There are actual tears on the pages. So we can do this one together. This is our homework together. We can start just to journal. Just start writing, typing however you feel on your thoughts, experiences of the day. Really take a moment, step back, think about everything you are grateful for that day, things that maybe weren't so great. Because when you journal, it's meant to help with your self-awareness, and I would love to develop my self-awareness. So we'll do that together. That's our homework together, you guys. So one thing I've really noticed, and this may not be for everyone, but for me, I've noticed that sometimes when a conversation isn't attaining to what I want to hear, I tend to just kind of zone out and go, yeah, no. I noticed that maybe around a year and a half ago, and ever since I noticed that, I went, what am I doing? This person's taking time out their day to come and talk to me, and I am not listening to them one bit. So mindful listening is so important. You can really take in what someone is saying and understand what they're saying, and it helps you understand that person and deepen your connection without gaining an attachment. One thing that I have taken up recently is exercising. So walking, exercising, running, yoga, Pilates, whatever you want to do, whatever falls under that umbrella of exercise, do it. It is such an amazing way to kind of construct your feelings, get out any negative emotions. And let me tell you, this is coming from someone that never wanted to exercise in their life, someone that was so against being physically fit and thought it would be funny to, take the mick out of exercising, going to the gym. Oh, who goes to the gym? Let me tell you now, that used to be me. And now I am so grateful. It's one of my favorite parts of the day. I love going. And so that is something I would also recommend. Section 4 is embracing impermanence. The idea of detachment is actually really related to the idea of, impermanence and accepting impermanence in life. So I think for understanding and really embracing detachment is so important, and it's so game-changing, as what I found out and what I, experienced, is embracing impermanence, understanding that things are impermanent, Things such as, a relationship shift, a job change, or even challenges you face personally in your personal life. And obviously, human nature calls for our own resistance to this, and we start to struggle, and that's just natural. That is natural for all of us. We're going to struggle with change. And everyone has been there. Let me tell you, honey, no matter how perfect someone seems, we've all been there. We have so much discomfort and uncertainty with change. Let me tell you, even now, I have a set plan, but every time I go out, I have to think about how I'm getting there, how I'm getting back. So let's break down how the acknowledgement of impermanence isn't dismissing the significance of certain moments, instead finding kind of strength and flow in it. Okay, so we have to understand that change is just a part of life. We cannot do anything about that. It comes as good, it comes as bad. And embracing impermanence means understanding that everything in life is in a constant state of a flux, of like having the highs, the lows, and everything in between. So in a minute, I'm going to ask you guys to pause the video. But I want you guys to think about the last change, the last shift you had in your life that came without warning, and how it would have been different if you had looked at this shift and change with an understanding of impermanence, with the embracement of impermanence. So pause the video, take a second. Because when there is a resistance to this idea of impermanence, what kind of opportunities are coming in and allowing you to grow? There is a force field just kind of blocking you guys. And also when you're thinking about how the situation could have changed, please just remember that this doesn't mean dismissing emotions and becoming cold-hearted. It's about finding balance. And it's allowing room for both joy and being able to stay present in the moment to kind of coincide with one another. And if you feel comfortable enough, you guys, the comment section is always open. Feel free to share your reflections. Because I want this channel to be a space where we can learn from each other and we can embrace the beautiful and negative moments of life. And we can all learn from each other. And that's the most beautiful thing. And that's one thing where I want this channel to kind of turn into something that we can all learn from. We can learn from one another. Section 5 is letting go of control. And let me tell you, baby, this one was a hard one for me. This one was so difficult because I used to be a control freak. So control, I like to think of it as a mirage. We think we're in control, but the more control we have, it actually just means the more we suffer, the more we are putting pressure on ourselves, the more, anxiety we have from it. Oh, we want to set plan, this. Oh, but something in the middle goes wrong. Then the pressures that come with it. And let me tell you girls, I've had my fair share of that. We currently live in a society where structure is everything. We have to structure our lives and we are expected to have everything just figured out at the click, And it's just maddening to think. If you really think about it, it is so crazy. But can I share a secret with you? Like I said, the more control we have, it's just an illusion. We are out of control. We're spiraling out of control because everything is just so structured. And because everything is structured, we kind of find ourselves really anxious and stressed. I mean, don't you feel like that when you feel like something hasn't gone according to your plan? So if you're anything like me and you try to micromanage every single microscopic detail only to kind of realize that life has its own plans and life will take the path it chooses for you. You're not choosing that path, babe. Life is choosing it for you. And that could be with anything. It could be with, relationships. It could be with work. It could be with, academics. It could just be with daily life, Like, oh, you plan to clean the car today? Well, it's raining, so you can't clean the car. Let's talk about how, letting go of control isn't actually a sign of weakness. I think a lot of people just think that, oh, if I'm not in control, I'm just weak and I'm just letting anything go anywhere. You're not weak. Oh my God, who told you that? Who's been lying to you? If anything, it's a path to liberty. It's a path to liberation, babe. I'll be so real with you. There was a time, actually, I think it's been my whole life, where I have tried to have everything controlled, everything planned, having everything set in stone. And let me tell you, that is not how it works. And so many of us try to have control because we think it's going to give us a security and happiness and freedom. But spoiler alert, it really doesn't. If anything, it leads to frustration, stress, and anxiety. Again, another moment is coming up where I want you to pause the video. Take a moment, assess your life. Where are you taking so much control and where can you loosen the reins? Like for me personally, when I go out with friends, I think, oh, I need to come back now. I need to do this now. I have a set plan for everything. And let me tell you, I am a planned person. I have a calendar. I use that calendar religiously, okay? I love my calendar to bits. Where can you loosen the reins? I'm not saying let go of your whole life because let's be honest, it'll be in shambles. You want to go clubbing at nighttime and then go to work at 6 o'clock in the morning the next day? That's just not feasible. So let's not let go that much, but you can kind of loosen the reins, like I said. My last section is probably my favorite section, which is section 6, Cultivating Self-Love. Self-love, self-worth. One of my favorite topics, one of my favorite transformations that I saw in myself and when I see it in other people. It is so beautiful and I just cannot get enough of it. So detachment isn't about becoming indifferent. It's about really embracing your self-love, your self-worth. What are you worth to yourself? Self-love in itself is really tricky. It's a tricky topic to discuss because I think it hits home for so many of us. And in a world where we seek validation externally, it is a journey. And in a world where we constantly seek validation from people externally, I think that the journey of self-love and self-worth is rewarding but really challenging. If you were to take on any mindset, any aspiration, any goal, it's going to come with its challenges, I'll be honest with you. So let's talk. If you've ever found yourself, seeking a validation, seeking approval from external forces, you're not alone. And we've all been there. Even people that don't want to admit it, we've all been there. We kind of mold ourselves like we're clay or something to kind of fit what other people want us to be. And personally for me, self-worth was tied to external validation. And let me tell you, it was exhausting, mentally draining. But the turning point came from when I understood that validation, the validation I needed, because external validation was never enough and it never will be. When I understood that validation came from inside of me, girl, was it a pivotal moment. It was a turning point, if anything. A lot of people think that, when you cultivate self-love, self-worth, people just think you're becoming selfish. Girl, no. It's kind of more about recognizing your value, understanding your worth. That is what it's about. Again, that's why I love this so much, because we all have so much to give, so much to offer, but we just don't understand because we are so blinded by what everyone else wants. I'm going to give you guys a couple of ways that helped me understand that I am amazing. Because when I go out, I genuinely think I am the coolest person alive. Everyone that sees me is lucky to see me. Everyone that has a friendship with me, lucky to have it. That is the mindset I am in. And people might say selfish. They might go, oh my gosh, she's crazy. Girl, no. I just understand what I'm worth. I understand what I give, what I bring to the table. So, for example, when I got this necklace, which keeps flipping around, it says art on it, because I understand that internally I'm beautiful, but externally, I am art, okay? If you are a girl watching this and you're a teenager, obviously we all suffer from during teenage years that we're not good enough and our bodies aren't good enough. Let me tell you, us women, we are art. And when I tell people in my family this, they look at me like I'm crazy, because that's just how they were brought up. I was brought up like that too. If I was still in the same old mindset that old Hannah was in, let me tell you, I would think that person was nuts. But when you change, you kind of understand that we are art. The foundation of traditional art was built on the inspiration of women. That's why I wear art on my neck, to remind both myself and other people out there that we are art. I'm art. You're art. We're all art. So let's think of some practical strategies that can help you guys on your journey to self-love and self-worth. One is positive affirmations. Girls, I used to think people that did affirmations were flipping cuckoo. Okay, I thought you guys were crazy. But when I actually opened my heart and actually sat there and really, I had no barriers, no restrictions. I went, no, you know what? I'm actually going to do this. I'm not going to have any withdrawal. I'm not going to think, oh, this is all crazy. I'm actually going to open my heart and I'm going to believe everything I'm saying. There's no point of doing this if you're not believing everything you're saying. There's no point of, really taking the time and energy to do this if you are not opening your heart fully, if there's still some doubts in you. So for affirmations, repeat phrases like, I am enough. I know my worth. I deserve love and respect. You repeat phrases like that, and you can find so many online on Pinterest, TikTok, whatever. I think something that we lack as well is self-compassion. So I would recommend, practicing self-compassion. You have a friend, you have a family member that you really care about, and they're going through a challenging time, and you give them, some beautiful advice. Give yourself the same advice. Why wouldn't you? Because if we were in that position, we'd start telling ourselves, pick up the slack. Why are you crying and stuff? You need to understand that, yes, you can't just sit there and cry, because one thing I don't like is when someone sits there and cries but doesn't do anything about it. It's very annoying to me that, yes, you also deserve self-love, self-compassion. So instead of criticizing yourself, replace that criticism with love, because love is the end all and be all, let's be honest. And call me materialistic and money. Healthy boundaries. Now, as a former people pleaser, let me tell you, healthy boundaries was a hard one. You need to understand when to say no. When enough is enough. When you don't feel like going out with your friends and your friends are like, come on, I'm really tired, I'm really sad, I'm really bored. That's their own problems. We can talk about it on our phone if you want. But if you feel energy drained and you don't want to go out, why are you saying yes? Are you worth nothing to yourself that you could just throw that away and you're just gonna say yes, 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 yes? What are you? Are you a monkey? Why are you going yes, 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 yes? No. You need to understand that you are so independent that you don't need other people. How desperate are you that when one person messages you, you need to go and meet up with them? Say no. They need to be humbled. Say no. And I feel like you need to hear this, but it is okay to prioritize self-care. It's okay to prioritize your energy. You need to protect your energy. Following on from self-care is mindful self-care. Take time out of the day to start enjoying things that you love doing, your hobbies. That could be reading a book, paint your nails, you know, for me it's bubble bath. Bloody love me a bubble bath. You know, it could be sports. You might have not picked up a sport since high school and you're 26 now. Take time out of your day and do the sport. It will help you so much. Another one is achievements. Now, I've done this my whole life, okay, where I have celebrated every achievement. I think it is so important. Every little success that comes in, it may seem like the tiniest little thing, but it deserves to be celebrated or at least acknowledged. It could be anything from like you won a competition to like, you know, prioritizing your mental health to like, oh, you had a to-do list and you finished your to-do list for the day. Girl, give yourself a good pat on the back and give yourself a reward, because you need to understand that when you acknowledge even the tiniest of accomplishments or an accomplishment that someone else might not even understand, you need to understand that for yourself, that is so critical that, you know, you've been able to recognize that, oh, what the hell? I did that. I actually did that without dismissing it. Because girl, you are amazing. You are so perfect in every way. The fact that you've come this far with all of your achievements, failures, everything in life, you need to be able to take a step back and stop focusing on the failures and start focusing on everything else that you've done. So if you're familiar with, you know, mindfulness community, you would understand that practicing gratitude is so important. So gratitude is beautiful because instead of focusing on what you don't have, what you're complaining about, you kind of click a shift in your head and, you know, you think about everything that you're grateful for, everything you have achieved, everything you have received, everything the universe has given to you. By fostering this, you start to develop a more, you know, appreciative mindset. Next one is, you know, surround yourself with positivity, which means, unfortunately, if people are negative in your life, bringing in negative emotions, cut them out. Girl, do you know how many friends I've told where they've been talking to guys to be like, oh, I'm so sad, and I've been like, cut them off. They're making you sad all the time, and I have to hear about it. If you're gonna cry, cry to them. I'm not the one causing these problems. In the most nicest way. I love you guys. You know, this could be friendships. This could be like, you know, family relationships. If they are impacting you to the point of where you are getting so negatively caught up. But to the point where you're getting so negatively caught up, cut them off. You need to be able to surround yourself with people that support you emotionally, physically, mentally. People that are there for your achievements, your ups, your downs, everything. And this could also be like, you know, even with social media, you follow, you know, influencers and they're on holidays. Doing this and they're doing that, and you look at it and you go, oh, I wish my life was that, but it's not. Then remove them. Why are you following them? Why are you harboring negative emotions when you open your socials? That's what I did. I removed everything that made me unhappy. I was just following them because it's a trend, it's a clique. You know, everyone's following a certain celebrity, I'm gonna follow them too. Did I like the celebrity? No. But everyone else in my social circle was following them, so I did too. Next one is embrace your imperfections. No one is perfect, not me, not you, nobody. Even people that you see online, no one is perfect. I'm telling you that for free. We all have our imperfections, we all have our flaws, we all have our challenges, and that's the beauty of life. That is what makes us, us. Like, you know, I would not have been where I am. I promise you, if I had not faced the challenges I faced this summer, I would not be in this mindset. Because of those challenges, because of those flaws, because of those imperfections, I have been able to understand myself. I've been able to understand life. I've been able to understand what I'm worth. I've been able to understand people around me because of this, because I've embraced my flaws. And one thing that I love, and I used to be like, why do people go? You know, seek professional help, therapy, counseling. As a girl from a brown household, this may seem like the most mind-boggling thing to people. Like, you know, I used to think it was mind-boggling. Like, why? Keep your emotions pent up. When I tell you that you go to professional help, helps so much. I am lucky enough that I'm a uni student, so I get to experience this through counselling, free counselling on the uni. But by having the professional guidance there can, allow us to take another perspective on life. Things that you may not be able to tell your friends, your family. It allows us to look at that specific situation in another limelight, really. And because they are specialists in their field, they provide valuable insights. Unfortunately, my counsellor, she just listens to everything that goes on in my day. We don't talk about anything interesting, unfortunately. We just talk about oh my god, so I got on the train today. That is what it is. I'm a chatty person and I need someone to talk to. Just remember, when you are cultivating self-love, self-worth, that it is a journey. It's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. And I don't want you guys to rush this process, feel like you need to get it done soon as. Because otherwise that just ruins the process. Because you need to be able to foster a relationship with yourself, which I think is the most important relationship in the world. The relationship with yourself. You need to be able to recognize your value. I could talk about self-love, self-worth, my journey for days, I'll tell you that. Girl, if you sat here and you were here right now, I would be talking all the time, but we need to wrap this video up. As I bring this video to a close, I just want you guys to remember that when we are mastering detachment, it's not, a destination. When we get there, that's the end. It is a journey, and journeys don't ever end. And it's a beautiful journey, may I just add. It is such a gorgeous, eye-opening experience. And I'm happy that it'll never end. I'm happy that I will always be able to find new ways to kind of approach detachment. I hope I did well for my first video on, mindsets, because I've never in my life done something like this. So I think when I approached this, I was very nervous. Again, biting the bullet. What the hell am I nervous about? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, in my opinion. That's just, that's the saying, isn't it? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Feel free, share your thoughts, share your constructive criticism in the comments. I'd be more than happy to, approach anything else in a different way. I would love to hear your thoughts and experiences as well regarding any of the topics I've discussed. If you have found this video helpful by any means, please subscribe. I will be making more content like this. If you subscribe, I know that you guys will enjoy the content. Also, that means I can make more content on self-development. Until next time, stay empowered, guys, and embrace the beauty of detachment. Okay? Goodbye, guys.